How is everyone? Let's play in makeup. Today's story is going to be sponsored by Kevyn Aucoin, but these are products that you see me use all the time, and I'm actually going to show you glass skin. It sounds way more intimidating than what it is, but I'm going to show you. But first we're going to do our eyes. It's still a full tutorial, and of course it will be educational. So let's get started. This is the Kevyn Aucoin. These are the eyeshadow palettes. These are actually newer. This is the shade Medium Deep, and I want to use this. It's so pretty. But of course, we're going to start with our mattes. We're going to grab this and grab it on one side of the brush. And we're just going to lay down. Look how pigmented. These are so nice, and they're so thin, so they're really nice to travel with, and they just don't take up much room on my vanity. Product towards the ceiling. That way I have a little bit more control over this way. There we go. It's such a pretty color. Let me scoot in. I'm over here in the bushes. There we go. Now I'm just going to use whatever's left and start to transition and smooth this top part. So pretty. This is a really nice mauve shade. It's so pretty. It's right in that realm of still being a neutral without being too pink. So pretty. Now let's grab a little bit of this shade and continue to transition. Smooth that out a little bit with the side of the brush. It's so pretty. So then I took a little bit of this shade on the side of the brush and I just pressed it on the outer corner here. I'm going to layer it up a little bit more. Just kind of press and pull the brush. Now let's grab this shade, and this is going to go, let's make sure we don't have any creasing, but this is going to go here towards the inner part of the eye. It's so pretty. Something I wouldn't normally do. And then to kind of melt them together, I'm going to grab this shade one more time, just a nice little swipe, and then I'm going to tap it into that purple, just so they really melt together. Ooh, look at that. Pretty. So I am going to be using all three of these today. You see this lash curler all the time. It's my favorite lash curler and has been for years. But you are going to see me use all three of these, and I'm mentioning them because they do have a trio right now, and I'm going to link that trio. But for right now, I'm going to start with the liner that comes in the trio, and I'm just going to add a little bit of depth. Look at that precision. I'm just going to add that depth here on my lash line. Just make sure it's really in the roots of my lashes. And then I'll grab another brush and just kind of lightly smudge it, but I don't want it to get too out of control. Also, you're gonna wanna see this. Okay, you see that? How it's a little worn down after I applied it. So we put it on. Just do it about 3 times, and then you just snap it back off. Look at that, you just sharpen it. You just put it away and then you sharpen it. I love it. I'm going to do a palette hop, as I like to say. I'm going to grab a little bit of this black eyeshadow. This black eyeshadow is fantastic. And I'm going to take that and just smudge it a little bit right on top of that liner. But just a little bit of the black eyeshadow. I don't want it to get too smoky, but I want a nice little smudge. Press it right on top. Now let's curl our lashes. Again, this is in that trio that I already linked. But anytime that I'm going to wear mascara, this is the lash curler. This one right here. Been using it for years. It's the best. So now we're gonna go in with the volume mascara. There it is. I'm gonna roll this through a couple times. I'm gonna do probably 2 coats of this mascara. It's time for foundation. We're going to use the Etherealist foundation. I'm using the shade Light EF05. I'm actually going to do a comparison between this and the balm. Y'all know how much I love the balm. But if you're looking for glowy, this is your foundation. But you'll see me talk about that later. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Look at the match. It just disappeared. We can add more. Let's add some more. So beautiful. But wait, I need you to stick around, okay? Get ready, we're gonna use this. Do you see? I'm so excited to show you how to use this. I've shown you before, but I'm gonna show you some more. Since this tutorial isn't going to be quite as long as some of my tutorials, I figured we could just watch the foundation blend, because it melts in so beautifully. Look how pretty that is. When foundation melts in, it honestly just it puts a smile on my face. I love it so much. I love makeup so much. Let's blend this side too. Covers up my redness. And I can't tell you enough how lightweight this foundation feels on the skin. Feels like I'm just putting on a serum, a skincare serum. But you saw how it just took away that redness. So these are the two that I love to mix. This is the Sensual Skin Enhancer. So this is the one I use more as a corrector, but it has the perfect amount of peach for my under eye. But I do want you to see how little I mix, and then I'll mix shade 01. So we'll have that right there. And then we mix that up. And then it's my perfect concealer shade. So we'll just kind of apply it first with our spatula, and then I'll grab a brush. We'll do whatever's left here. And then I'll just grab what's left on the back of my hand. So we'll work this side in together. You can see how nicely it blends. Now, this is a very pigmented formula, but you can also see how hydrating it is underneath the eye. It's gorgeous. And then I'm actually gonna pull the brush a little bit just so I can really clean underneath here and kind of add some lift. You can see that now, a little bit of lift. Let's work that in. You can see how quickly it melts in too. Down the nose, I need to work this in. And this one doesn't set, so you have a lot of work time, a lot of play time with it. So it's not going to just dry down very quickly, which causes creasing. It's going to set only when you set it, and that's a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and set my under eye and the center of my face, but I am going to avoid the cheekbone. A little bit of powder can get there. That's not going to be the end. But we do want to leave a little bit of room. Let me set this side for you. We want to leave a little bit of room for what we're about to use. Just a little bit. See how you can still see the glow? That's going to be perfect. So I started with this middle shade, and the reason why is because I love the idea of transitioning. We think of transitions all the time with our eyeshadow. Ooh, that's pretty with that and that. But we don't think of the transitions when it comes to our bronzer, which I'm going to talk about, and then we don't think of it when it comes to our blush. But when you transition things, they go on a lot more smoothly. You end up with less patchiness, and it just looks a lot more glowy, a lot more beautiful. Some might even say a little bit more believable. So I'm grabbing this shade now, and then that's going to go above the darker shade. And then if we wanted to add depth, this might look a little bit like a bronzer, but if we were to mix them, all that does is just add some depth to that pink. You can see that it doesn't look like a bronzer. Gorgeous, right? Again, with the transitions, I absolutely love this. I've talked about this so many times. So I'm actually gonna start over here in the little bit lighter side. These are very, very pigmented, by the way. So that's gonna go, see my natural contour there? I'm going right above it. I'm going just a touch in it. So this is still, there's still no product there. You're still just seeing my natural shadow. So we're just gonna go and go a little bit above, because remember, the sun naturally hits a little bit higher, and that's what bronzer mimics. I'm gonna grab that same shade, do the same thing here. And then if we wanna add a little bit more depth, we can come all the way over here to the darker side, and then we'll hit that around the very outer edges of the face, just for some nice sculpting, not contouring, sculpting. Same thing over here. Let's go ahead and finish up our eye. We're gonna grab this shade on the tip of the brush. That way we can just push it right underneath the lash line here. You're gonna see me push instead of swipe because I don't wanna fluff any of that shadow into my eye. And by pressing, I have more control. It's not kind of fluffing everywhere. And now let's go ahead and connect it here. Look at how nicely this mascara wand fits on your bottom lashes. Never clumpy, just so fluffy. I love the small wand. We're gonna finish with this, but let's first get into this. So all we need, I'm gonna show you right here. We just need one little dot. I want you to see this. And I know you're thinking this might be sticky, not for oily skin, but I talk about spot priming, spot highlighting, spot concealing. It's all about placement. We really forget that it's about a small brush and placement. So don't let this frighten you. We're gonna take a small, dense brush here, and I'm just gonna grab a little bit. And look at how stunning that is. All that glow. It's not separating our makeup. I'm gonna make sure the light isn't hitting so you can see that. Isn't that beautiful? Let's add some over here too. We can even add some to the brow bone. So pretty. But it's really about just making sure you always have control. We wouldn't use a brush this large to apply it. And it does not feel sticky. It honestly feels like, again, I'm just putting on a serum. And then what we'll do is we'll just take our powder puff and whatever's left and just kind of go around the edges just to kind of give it a little bit of a seal. And there you have it. The gorgeous glow. And then put some on this brow bone too. I love it so much. And then last but not least is the Glass Glow Lip. The shade that I'm using is Spectrum Bronze. Look at how stunning. I love it. These are so comfortable too. Love it. And there you have it. There's our glow. I'm super excited for tonight's post. I'll post a reminder for y'all. We're gonna do glowy versus matte. Which one are you going to like? It's hard for me to choose. It's hard for me to choose. I had so much fun doing today's tutorial. Thank you so much, Kevyn Aucoin, for partnering with me. This is wonderful. You guys have seen products here that I use all the time. Get ready for tonight's post. I'm so excited. I love you all so much, and we'll see you in the comments.